Of all the things I feel like I'm the least qualified to talk about, art is definitely near the top of that list. I don't know any of the specialized terms or the jargon or the tech, fucking linear perspective, eggshell on fresco. I don't know that shit. However, I really do want to talk to you guys about some art that I saw last week. Last week? What are you, fucking Scooby-Doo? I really want to talk to you guys about some art that I saw done by an artist named Robert Segalman. I can talk, I swear. Now, I was in South Carolina last week with some of my family members, and we decided to visit an art museum that I'm not going to pronounce the name of the two dudes that own it because I forgot the name, and I'm doing this in one take. Now, this art museum had other pieces in it. Stuff about money, exploitation, the law, the fucking society, and all that. But then we headed upstairs, and upstairs, all the art was done by one man, Robert Segalman. Now, in the beginning, I'm not gonna lie, I didn't really get it. I just went into the thing and I was like, ooh, cool, it's a bunch of blurry pictures. Whatever. That is until we got to this image. And the way this image made me feel was like something I couldn't even really comprehend at the time until I sat back down in the car. Robert Segalman, in my opinion, made the physical manifestation of what it's like to recall a childhood memory. And that's kind of crazy. Because it's like, as a child, you're aware of like the things that are happening and the things that are going on. You're not stupid, but you don't really know all the details of everything that's going on. And then that forms into your memories of those certain situations. Not saying that you can't pull in, super sharp imagery from those memories at certain points in time, but in general, it's kind of just a vibe of being a child. Like, for example, I know for a fact that when I was like 4 or 5, we went on a giant family vacation. It was me, all my siblings who were born at the time, and a bunch of my cousins. Like, it was this big thing. And I can't tell you the details of what actually happened on that family vacation, but I can tell you the vibe. I can tell you how I felt. I can tell you what the ocean felt like. I can tell you I'd never seen the ocean before that moment. I can tell you that I got sand everywhere, and I remember what the sand felt like, but I can't really tell you the details. I know that there were adults, and there were a lot of adults watching us, and the adults definitely talked at some point, but I can't tell you what they were talking about. I can't tell you exactly where everybody was standing, but I know everybody was on the beach, though. Like, I can pull all these bits and pieces of information and emotions that I definitely felt at the time to create an image in my mind, but that image has no detail. I can't tell you what we did Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. I don't even know if we went to the beach during the week. I can't even tell you when we left, but I know that we were there. That painting and the other paintings in the room kind of gave me the same vibe as like when you smell like an old soap or an old perfume that your mom used to use, or you see a show that your dad used to watch, or you smell a food your mom used to cook. Like, just kind of like that image, that kind of general childhood, this is something that I know definitely happened image, and it's tied in my hippocampus somewhere, but I don't necessarily know the details. It's almost like he's doing a more like structural or more detailed Rorschach test. You know what I'm saying? Like, he's putting all the parts there. You're getting some details, but it's up to you and your own understanding of your childhood and your emotions and all that other shit to put it together. Like, it's still a Rorschach test, it's just a more directed one. And I think that is pretty cool, which is why I wanted to talk about it badly. It still honestly shocks me that people pre-order Ubisoft games, buy them, get them 2 days early because they bought the super special big deluxe edition, install them 2 days early, again, install all 50 gigs of that Ubisoft goodness, play them, and then drop an 8-hour dissertation going pretty much, this game's bad. It's a Ubisoft game. What were you expecting? They've been making Far Cry 3 for 15 years straight. Like, why were you expecting anything different this time? I didn't even pay that game no mind after a while because I knew exactly what it was gonna be. Far Cry 3 in space with a woman this time. Ooh, I'm telling you right now, this game came out in 2011, 2012 when I was like 13, 14 years old. I probably would have thought this game's a classic because it's Far Cry 3. What are you gonna do? You're gonna get some towers, you're gonna light them towers, you're gonna do some outposts, you're gonna free some hostages, and you're gonna move on to the next area. Towers, outposts, hostages. Towers, outposts, hostages. It's the same shit. None of the characters nor the world itself are usually interesting enough to get you from point A to point B, so you're gonna go through the rest of the story after you clear 50% of the map. Like, that's what's gonna happen. The only difference now is that for some reason all Ubisoft games are kind of ashy. And I don't know why. Like, since Far Cry 3, like, for some reason, they all got this ashiness filter on. Like, if you don't get some Nivea, you know, some Lubriderm and just wipe that bitch down, like, why is the game so ash? Like, I legitimately can't fathom a Ubisoft game getting into a controversy or why anybody gives a shit, because you shouldn't care about them because they've been making Far Cry 3 for 15 years. You want to play the new game? Just put some mods in the Far Cry 3. It's the same experience, I swear to you. I've been disappointed in many ways in my life, but there's nothing more disappointing than getting served a piece of cornbread and taking a bite out of that bitch and it's salty. If you make savory cornbread, I need you to stay as far away from me as humanly possible. Like, bitch, move. I'm not saying I want corn cake either. What I'm saying is that cornbread is supposed to be a little bit sweet and a little bit salty. Like, if you don't give me something I could put this honey butter on before I beat the shit out of you. Like, you really woke up this morning talking about something. I'm not only gonna waste other people's time, I'm gonna waste food too, you fucking bastard. You woke up this morning, baked some salty ass cornmeal, and then served it to me, dog. You're a bitch. If I wanted something salty and with cornmeal, I would have got myself some corn tortillas and made myself a quesadilla. Like, get the fuck out of my... You know, like, hush puppies, I get, you know, a little savory, you're deep frying them, but then it still comes in with the sweet part, you know, because you're getting that little sweetness from the onion. You just served me a salty brick. Why? That's not traditional cornbread. I don't give a fuck. You just served me a fluffy, salty brick. What do I look like, a horse? What, I asked for a salt lick this morning? Get the fuck out of my face. Like, why do you like this? People don't like salty corn. They like sweet corn. Why the fuck are you eating salted cornmeal? Ladies and gentlemen, I have been playing Death Stranding, the director's cut, in preparation for Death Stranding 2. I have put 17 hours into this fucking game and beat about 29% of the game. When the fuck do I get to learn what's going on? Every second that I play this game is a second that contextualizes why Konami and Kojima had that falling out. As much and as fucked up as it was, I completely understand, because what the fuck is going on? I've read every interview and every email with every character, and I just don't... I don't fucking... What? So, like, these dudes made up the super internet, and it turns out the super internet proved the afterlife was real? And then they were like, maybe we can use the afterlife to make the internet even faster. Then they said, hold on, wait a minute. What if we kill a pregnant lady while she's giving birth but keep the body alive? And then put the baby in a tub of Four Loko so we can see demons. Like, nigga, who wrote this? Then if I connect, you know, the tub that the baby's sitting in, the Four Loko, and then funnel that straight into my fucking kidneys, I'll be able to see the demons too. Like, it's genius, bro. Who the fuck wrote this? Kids see ghosts sometimes. Kids see ghosts sometimes. Oh, the spirit moving around, just moving around. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm about 38 hours into Death Stranding. I've beaten about half of the game, and I still don't know what the fuck is going. So Fragile's name is Fragile because the bonds between humans are fragile and they need to be nurtured like children, which is why her daddy named her Fragile, because she's fragile like the bonds between humans. Please clap. So she's fragile, but she's not that fragile though. That is a real line in this game. Pigs sucks. I hope he dies. I know he won't, but here's hoping. We met BB's daddy, Mads Mikkelsen. Mads never allowed to be happy Mikkelsen. Mads always sad Mikkelsen. And he's like the originator of all the BBs, so he's kind of tied to all of them, I think, which is why he has like a womb on his belly that has cables that come out of it, because all those soldiers you fight in that World War I pocket dimension are actually BB ghosts and shit. Maybe. So because he's technically BB's daddy, right, he tried to take BB from me, but then BB was like, I want a BB with Norman Reedus right now, so get the fuck up off me. Mama is goated. There's no deeper analysis here. She's fucking goated. She is in fact a survivor, and she's also the cutest girl in this game. Please DM me. What else did we learn? Fucking... God, asexuality isn't real. If you're asexual, you are in fact a victim of the stranding. This is real. This is in the game. I'm not making this shit up. So if you're asexual, right, you are an early onset victim of the stranding. And the reason you can't connect with people sexually is because you have an antimatter ghost trying to beat your meat from the beach. which is beyond the great. This is real. I'm not making this up. I swear to you, I'm not making this up. I read this. This was an interview in the game, bro. It's in the game. I want to play Yakuza so bad. I want to play Yakuza so bad. So I've been waiting for that Yakuza game for like 10 years. But I know that if I don't beat Death Stranding in one go right now, I'm never touching that game again. I'm never playing this shit again. And I need to know how it ends. I've come too far.